Always good to see these guys that are so good on the non-wing side with the wing on still be able to get it done. Kevin Thomas Jr., C.J. Leary, Brady Bacon, Chris Wyndham, Logan Seavey, all very familiar with each other. And then they've got that Larson guy on the pole that they're all going to have to try to track down. And I believe we've got everybody on the racetrack, Chris.
Yeah, just had a chance to catch up with Brad Sweet just to clarify again kind of the track prep adjustments and the things that we saw during that break. You know, part of being this time of year and it being a little bit cooler outside is the racetrack doesn't have a chance to dry out. So a little greasy was the complaint by a lot of the drivers. Are going to try to get that tightened up here for these heat races.
Yeah, everybody will get a chance here to kind of buzz it, work the work that was done during this break back into the surface. Give them a couple here to mainly kind of work the middle of 1 and 2. That was the major area of focus. Leary already about went off over there in turn 2, so that part hasn't gotten any easier. Two all-black cars with very little decals on them running nose to tail in 1 and 2. Seavey's car and C.J. Leary, so that'll be fun this evening in the feature to identify them. And then there's another one, well, the Indy Race Parts car too, Kevin Thomas Jr. So yeah. 3 plain black cars in this one. And then the all-white familiar Paul Silva 57 of Young Money leading us to the green. So talk often about how important it is to qualify up front with this format with the High Limit Sprint Car Series and the straight-up nature of it. So you qualify on the pole or qualify fastest, you're on the pole of heat race number 1. Obviously, you win the heat race. That at least guarantees you a top 8 starting position in the dash, or in the feature, I should say. Locks you into the dash, guarantees you a top 8 starting spot in the feature. So very important for Larson in this points race to at least finish second, if nothing else. He'd like to win, of course. But got to finish in the top 2 and make the dash here, just to keep Rico kind of on the back foot in this championship race. We'll do another quick hot lap session here for this group of cars that make up TJ Ford's heat race number 1. Getting a look at Brady Bacon there, the TKH Motorsports number 21H. And Kevin Thomas Jr. in the 71X, who kind of driven a lot of different things for a lot of different people this year. He's had a few different non-wing sprint car rides. He's had a few different midget rides. Driving a couple different cars this year in the wing sprint car discipline. Saw him in one of Kevin Newton's cars earlier this year, and back in the 71X with Bernie to close it out tonight. Track deemed to be in good shape, so everybody will get lined up on the pace vehicle, which is over here in turn number 1.
So we'll get them brought around here, lined up behind the pace vehicle, heading down the back straightaway. Kyle Larson and Kevin Thomas Jr. lining up on the front row. Brady Bacon and C.J. Leary in row 2. Danny Sams the 3rd and Connor Morrell in the 3rd row. Chris Wyndham, Bryce Norris lining up side by side in row number 4, and Logan Seavey and Jimmy Light to round out the field as Kyle Larson and Kevin Thomas Jr. have caught the back of the pace car.
Larson leads the rest of the drivers in heat race wins this year. He has 5. Justin Sanders and Rico Abreu with 4 apiece. Larson won a heat race here last year. Trying to do it again, as we said, just to guarantee himself as much upfront possibilities as possible. Field formed up, and the 1-to-go signal from the flag stand. So we'll be racing next time by here in TJ Ford's heat race number 1. Again, it's Kyle Larson, Kevin Thomas Jr., Brady Bacon, C.J. Leary, Danny Sams the 3rd, Connor Morrell, Chris Wyndham, Bryce Norris, Logan Seavey, and Jimmy Light for 8 laps. Top 5 transfer to the feature, top 2 to the Sander Engineering Dash. And heat race action set to begin for the final time here in the 2023 High Limit Sprint Car Series season. KT and Young Money on the front row. Green flag is out. TJ Ford sheet number 1 is underway.
Pretty slow start as it came off at turn number 4. Nearly parked him there. Brady Bacon now moving up into the 3rd spot as they work through 3 and 4. Battling for a transfer into the Sander Engineering dash off at turn 4.
Larson already starting to get away. KT able to hold on to the 2nd spot, but that's Brady Bacon challenging him on the inside of turn number 3 and 4 now. They run nearly side by side. KT gets the Indy Race Part 71 pointed down the hill. And we go yellow. Danny Sams slowing to a halt on the backstretch.
So he slowed coming off of turn 4 just right out of the gate here and coming to a stop now on the back straightaway.
So 1 lap scored with Larson and KT, top 2. Brady Bacon, CJ Leary, and Chris Wyndham, the 5 transfers right now.
Good to see Brady back a couple weeks ago, having that fluke accident, getting the alcohol in his eye from getting flipped over, and looked like he got slugged pretty good there. It swelled up so big, but luckily no vision damage, no permanent damage there, and he's able to heal and get back under the helmet.
Yeah, had to pull. What happened at Eldora, had to pull in. I believe it was during the feature of the USAC sprint car race. You couldn't see. His eye was in that bad a shape. So, which he's in a title fight over there for the USAC sprint car championship with Justin Grand, and certainly took a hit on the points on that night. But more importantly, Brady back to 100% healthy and back in the wing car at a place he's very familiar with. 1 down, 7 to go. Larson brings us back to the green with Kevin Thomas Jr. and Bacon 2nd and 3rd.
Top 3 peel away from the field now as they work into turn number 2. Here comes Chris Wyndham. He'll slide up into the 4th spot, now being challenged down the back straightaway.
Wyndham kind of parked it right in front of Leary and had everybody behind him. Slowed to a crawl through 1 and 2. It's a battle for that 4th and 5th spot. Wyndham is on the bubble right now. Connor Morrell in 6th as they try to race for the final transfer spot into the heat race.
Good battle as they continue to fight it out into turn number 1. Connor Morrell in the car number 28 down the back straightaway now holding on to the spot. Kyle Larson beginning to pull away from the field in the 57. Kevin Thomas Jr. in that 2nd spot. Top 2 move on to the Sander Engineering dash.
Racetrack still pretty quick, so going to favor the guys that start up front, which is good for Rico coming up here in heat race number 2. Your front row still runs 1st and 2nd. As we're past halfway and just a couple more remaining here in heat race number 1. It's Larson, Kevin Thomas Jr., Brady Bacon, CJ Leary, and Chris Wyndham, who is comfortable in that 5th spot by about 10 car lengths over Connor Morrell.
Wyndham in the final transfer spot. Morrell right behind him. White flags out final time as Kyle Larson leads the field down the back straightaway looking for checkers here in heat race 1.
And he'll approach the back of the field, but not going to get there. Out of 4, checkered flag. TJ Ford, heat race number 1. To Young Money, Kyle Larson. 2nd to Kevin Thomas Jr. He'll head to the dash. Brady Bacon, CJ Leary, and Chris Wyndham. Your 5 transfers in that one. Connor Morrell, Logan Seavey, Jimmy Light, and Danny Sams, along with Bryce Norris, headed to the B-main. So your 5 transfers in 5th, the 4 of Chris Wyndham. 4th was the 30 of CJ Leary. 3rd, the 21H of Brady Bacon. 2nd, the 71X of Kevin Thomas Jr., and your TJ Ford sheet race number 1 winner from Elk Grove, California, the Paul Silva number 57 of Young Money, Kyle Larson. 1 down, 3 to go. And Chris Wyndham, who snuck into that final transfer, is going to stop on the front stretch and catch up with Chris.
He brings that NOS Energy Drink number 4 machine for lane racing down to the front straightaway. Chris Wyndham's in the show, finishing 5th in heat race. TJ Ford heat race number 1. But Chris, with a lot of laps here in a non-wing car, just how different do you have to attack this racetrack with the wing on top?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I put us behind the 8 ball there qualifying and just didn't really get in the right spots on the track. And it's obviously really wet tonight and hard to pass right now, but I feel like it's going to come around by the end of the night. So we'll see what we get here, and we got to move forward.
All right, that's Chris Wyndham again. Finished 5th. He transfers into tonight's big 40-lap event and TJ Ford heat race number 1.
Thanks, Chris. DMI heat race number 2 lining up like this on the pole from St. Helena, California. The Rico Abreu, Kerbagajanian Racing, Stadelhofer Construction, JVI Group, El Bandito, Yankee Tequila, Lucas Oil. Car number 24, Rico Abreu. Outside of the front row from Indianapolis, Indiana, the NOS Energy Drink Z-Max, Elias Custom Trailers and Carts. Car number 7, BC Sunshine, Tyler Courtney. Your second row on the inside from Pen Grove, California, the TRD Roth Enterprises HR Livestock, car number 83 Junior. That's Buddy Kofoid. And outside of the second row from Quilcene, Washington, the Home Pro Roofing, Owens Corning Roofing Products, 50-year shingles, 50YR. That's J.J. Hickle. Your third row on the inside from Kokomo, Indiana. In the Indy Race Parts, Jake's Custom Golf Carts, car number 71, that's Parker Price Miller. And outside of him, from Leduc, Alberta, Canada, driving the Dirt Shark Excavating and Land Clearing, Ohio Valley Stave, car number 99 of Skylar G. Your fourth row on the inside from Brandon, South Dakota, piloting the ACS Roofing, Zomer Trucking 3J, that's Dusty Zomer. And starting in the 8th position, from Avon in the Paul May Motorsports, Mike's Auto Wrecking and Towing 71M of Caden Englehart. Your final row on the inside, the car number $33, that's the K.E. Baker Trucking entry of Shane O'Banion. And outside of Shane, from Rensselaer, Indiana, in the 26W, that's Cody Williams. Cody drives the Shields Painting, car number 26W. DMI Racing components and Bulldog Quick Change rear ends are the components built with precision and skilled machinists with the common sense of winning races. Located in the heart of Central PA, you can find every week participating in the sport we love. You race, we race. Let's race together, DMI. So DMI heat race number 2 getting set to go as the field lines up side by side behind the pace vehicle. Yellow lights are off. 8 laps is the distance in DMI heat race number 2. Top 5 to the A, top 2 to the Sander Engineering Dash. Rico Abreu needs to ring the bell here in heat race number 2, starting on the pole to keep Kyle Larson in his sights. Tyler Courtney on the outside of him, watching as they work to the white line. In turn 4, a slow pace again as they bring him down to the green flag. Side by side, they race off into turn number 1. Tyler Courtney with the advantage.
And that's a nice jump for Sunshine. Uses the outside momentum to take the lead. Already a battle for 5th deeper in the field. Is Courtney going to lead lap number 1? That battle for the final transfer position, Parker Price Miller going after Skylar G through 1 and 2.
Down the back straightaway, the battle for the transfer spot continues, but Rico Abreu needs to finish in the top 2 spot. Needs to make it into tonight's dash. PPM and Skylar G swapping sliders as they raced off of 4. Now side by side in turn number 2 for 5th.
It's a good battle down the backstretch. Parker Price Miller able to sort that one out and take over the 5th spot. Buddy Kofoid runs in 3rd, so as we watch Rico Abreu continue to navigate around the racetrack, that would be the car that could pass Abreu and knock him out of the dash if Kofoid gets to him. He's going to have to find a little bit of something, though, because Rico pretty comfortable right now in that spot, running in the 2nd position as Tyler Courtney continues to get away at the front of the field.
Tyler Courtney, Rico Abreu, then Buddy Kofoid, J.J. Hickle, Parker Price Miller in that 5th and final transfer spot. Now a little ways back to Skylar G. He'll try to fend off Caden Englehart. Dusty Zomer right behind him with Shane O'Banion in tow.
Courtney already putting a lap on Cody Williams, as does Rico Abreu down the back straightaway. Kofoid will dispose of the lap car as well. White flag in the air for the 7BC.
Final time for Sunshine here in DMI heat race number 2. He'll lead the field down the back straightaway looking for checkers this time. Off of turn number 4, checkers are in the air. Tyler Courtney will get the win. Rico Abreu comes home 2nd, 3rd goes to Buddy Kofoid, 4th to J.J. Hickle. 5th will go to Parker Price Miller. The top 5 cars moving on. The top 2, Tyler Courtney and Rico Abreu, will head off into tonight's Sander Engineering Dash. Skylar G comes home in the 6th spot. Caden Englehart 7th. Dusty Zomer 8th. Shane O'Banion 9th. And Cody Williams will round out the field in the 10th and final spot. So Rico did what he needed to do. He had to finish in the top 2 to at least get into a dash opportunity, and he did just that. Tyler Courtney getting the win. And Parker Price Miller will make his way down and have a word with Chris on the front chute.
Another Indiana Hoosier pushes his ticket into tonight's A-main event. That is Parker Price Miller, the law firm. He'll get the helmet off in this Indy Race Parts number 71. Okay, Parker, you're in the show, but dude, right off the start, how aggressive did you have to be? Starting fifth, you had Skylar G in a good battle there early. Just how aggressive did you need to be, especially with this racetrack and just how technical it is right now?
Yeah, you just got to be aggressive. Unfortunately, usually when I'm talking to you in the heat races, we're not very good, so we'll try and get better. It's just a new race car for me, and doesn't really feel the same. You know, it's a bigger cage, and just don't feel as stuck as what I normally feel. So we'll just continue trying to get better. And yeah, I didn't want to run the B main, so I had to get elbows up and get by the 99.
We certainly did that, and again, he punched his ticket in DMI Heat Race number 2. That's Parker Price Miller joining his teammate KTJ in tonight's feature.
Heat Race 3 already firing, and it's presented by Sunoco Race Fuels as the largest manufacturer of racing gasoline. Sunoco has a 40-year track record of winning performance, and for the performance your engine is designed to deliver, consistently choose Sunoco Race Fuels. Here's how we'll line them up on the pole from St. Mary's, New South Wales, Australia. The Maxim Trucking and Materials Smoker's Choice Cigar Bar of Brownsburg. TK Concrete number 55, that's Kerry Madsen. On the outside from Republic, Ohio, the Amalie Oils Tub of Towels number 2MD is Cap Henry. Inside of row number 2 out of Waco, Texas, the Bush's Chicken Iron Wolf Easy Print number 9 is Chase Randall. Outside of him from Angola, Indiana, the Race Routine Foundation Sundollar Restoration Ford Performance number 26 is Zeb Wise. Inside of row number 3, racer out of Plymouth, Indiana, the Jeremy Skadden Construction number 6Z is Zane DeVault. Outside of him from Anaheim, California, in the Honest Abe Roofing Metal Supply Depot Bennick Enterprises 16th is Jake Swanson. Row 4 on the inside out of Adrian, Michigan, the Town Line Variety, Susarski Excavating and Paving, Ackland Insurance, number 7N, is Darren Nida. Starting in the 8th position out of Rockland, California, the Suburban Subaru, Deaton's Waterfront Service, Berks Western Telecom, number 12, that's the Madman, Robert Ballou. And in the back, inside of row number 5, out of Valparaiso, Indiana, the Team Volkswagen Audi QuickTime Car Wash, Lane Automotive, number 13G, that is Van Gurley. 8 laps, top 5 finishers transfer to the feature, top 2 to the Sander Engineering Dash. Sunoco Race Fuels Heat Race number 3, Kerry Madsen, Cap Henry, Chase Randall, Zeb Wise, Zane DeVault, Jake Swanson, Darren Nida, Robert Ballou, and Van Gurley. 9 cars for 8 laps. Watch the battle for the top 5 and the top 2 to the dash. Down the hill we go, green flag, nice even side-by-side start from the front row. Cap Henry trying to get the power down to drive around Kerry Madsen, and he does, and into the lead.
Cap Henry got off of 4 really good on the initial start, brings Kerry Madsen with him now as they work off of 4. Zeb Wise, engine change and all, now up into the 3rd spot as they race into 2.
Good battle, 3 cars for the 4th spot. Jake Swanson, the Honest Abe number 16, the blue car, now feeling pressure from Chase Randall, the yellow and black number 9 on the inside of the racetrack. Randall in 5th. Zane DeVault runs in the 6th spot in car 6. Needs to get one more to lock into the feature. They race side by side ahead of him.
Good battle there in that 4th spot as they race side by side for the lead now off of turn number 4. Here comes Kerry Madsen. Now he'll slip back just a little bit. Cap Henry able to yard him down the back straightaway.
Trouble in the front stretch. Zane DeVault has spun to a stop at the entry of turn number 1. He was racing with Van Gurley and a couple other cars over there in that mix. Darren Nida was one of those cars, and DeVault, the drawer of the short straw, if you will, that spins to a stop on the entry to turn number 1.
2 madmen.
Yeah,
mad
we got
men
lots of madmen.
The question is, who is the maddest of the madmen?
Well, I have to see, I guess, how their night goes. probably Robert right now.
So we have a replay coming up here to show you what's brought out the caution.
Again, these guys, Darren Nida in the 7 car, battling their back in the pack. DeVault just kind of got crossed up coming off turn 4, and Ballou kind of just ran into the back of him with not really anywhere to go.
Did a nice job of not spinning his car out.
Yeah, absolutely. Re-rack them and go back to green here. A couple laps in. Cap Henry and Kerry Madsen, the top 2. Zeb Wise, Jake Swanson, and Chase Randall, the top 5 as you go back to green.
Randall under pressure now for the transfer spot in turn number 2. They get together in turn number 2. Randall spins. Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Battle for the transfer spot.
Darren Nida getting together with Chase Randall as they were battling there for the transfer.
And it knocked the front wing, the nose wing, off the 9 car. Nida saw an opening and went for it, which is frankly kind of what you have to do.
Yep.
Racetrack is still pretty hammered down right now, so you got to go when you can. And those two young racers getting together at the exit of turn 2. Robert Ballou is kind of right there in the middle of that again. Randall's car looks like it's still rolling fine, but you can see quite a bit of damage to the nose wing on the Bush's chicken number 9. He'll head off the racetrack Indy Metal finishing work area over there on that pad at the exit of turn number 3. 3 laps scored. And we'll see if these guys have a spare nose wing that they're able to bolt onto this race car.
Dad John Randall over there taking a look, checking the suspension, looking at the nose wing.
They might just pull it off. And it might be able to just be folded back down if they can figure out a way to
If they can
figure out a way to just kind of fasten it. They may not need to change it at all, which is actually what it looks like they're going to do. So it's still attached. It was just folded up over the hood. And here comes Randall making the turn out of the Indy Metal finishing work area. So he will rejoin.
Well, this will be exciting.
Yeah.
Watching Chase come from the back of this one.
Good car in the back of the field. And he'll fire off over in turn number 2, or turn 4 rather. Replay coming for those of you watching on Flow of this crash in turn 2.
Yeah, a big racing deal right there. I mean,
they both kind of went for the same spot.
Yep, absolutely.
We'll come back to green this time with 5 to go. Cap Henry, Kerry Madsen, Zeb Wise, Jake Swanson, and now Darren Nida. The top 5, Robert Ballou is 6th. And we'll watch Randall to see how far, if at all, he's able to advance. We go back green.
Everybody gets down by the cone as they race off into turn number 1. Cap Henry continues to show the way. Nida in the final transfer spot down the back straightaway. Now he'll look to the inside, battling Jake Swanson for position in turn number 4.
Swanson able to get the power down and back around the 7 in he goes. So Robert Ballou got crossed up, picked the nose up over there in 1 and 2. Like a non-wing car backing it in there, trying to track down Darren Nida. This is the race for the final transfer spot.
Nida in the transfer spot. Ballou 1 spot out of position there as they race through turn number 2. You see the nose wing dancing high in the sky on Chase Randall's car. No advancement for him.
Lap starting to click away. Top 2 safely getting away from 3rd place Zeb Wise. Robert Ballou has fallen back of Darren Nida in the race for 5th as the white flag's out for Cap Henry. Kerry Madsen rides 2nd. No challenge there for either of those positions. Down the back straightaway. Through 3 and out of 4. Sunoco Race Fuels Heat 3 to Cap Henry. He and Kerry Madsen head to the dash. Zeb Wise, Jake Swanson, and Darren Nida, your top 5.
Zane DeVault comes home in the 6th spot. Robert Ballou hangs on for 7th. Van Gurley 8th. And Chase Randall, after getting together there early on, finishes in the 9th and final spot.
Republic Ohio's Cap Henry picks up the heat race number 3 victory. I believe that's his first heat race win of the year. He and Kerry Madsen headed to the dash. Zeb Wise, Jake Swanson, and Darren Nida transferring, and Darren stopped on the front stretch.
The Adrian, Michigan driver punching his first high-limit Sprint Car Series A main start tonight with a 5th-place finish. You ran back here on Friday with the newly formed Maverick Sprint Car Series. How much did that lap times and those that seat time, I guess, that you had here play into a factor today to get yourself locked in?
It didn't really play a whole big factor. I mean, the racetrack was way different. We didn't have this much moisture in it, so you couldn't run nearly as hammered down like it is right now. I think it'll be really valuable come feature time.
All right, that's Darren Nida, Adrian, Michigan's own, punching his first sprint car feature for the High Limit Sprint Car Series here at Lincoln Park Speedway. And young, talented racer, got to run with Cody Swanson at the Chili Bowl, now making his first full season in wing sprint cars.
BR Motorsports heat race number 4 getting set to roll onto the track. We'll line them up like this on the pole from Visalia, California. In the High Plains Building Division, Mobile One, Lubbock Record Service, Marching Cattle Company, Wilson Record Service, Carbon Safety, car number 11 of Corey Eliason. Outside of the front row from Monrovia, Indiana, in the Avani Windows and Doors, Big Spring Car Wash, CoastalRaceParts.com, car number 13, that's Justin Peck. Your second row on the inside From Aromas, California, the C&D Rigging Valley Supply, J&S Classics car number 39M, that's Justin Sanders. And starting alongside of Justin from Gravois Mills, Missouri, in the Hayward Motorsports B&H Contracting Carolina Dock Stairs, car number 19, that's Ayrton Jenitin. Your third row, fifth starter from Lubbock, Texas, the High Plains Building Division, Wilson Wrecker Service, car number 1 of Brenham Crouch, and starting in the 6th spot from Oklahoma City, driving the Sitcar, Drive WFX, Durst, Western Flyer Express, car number 5T, that's Ryan Timms. Your fourth row on the inside, the QTC, car number 22 from Knoxville, Iowa, that's Riley Goodnow, and in the 8th spot from Sheboygan, Wisconsin, driving the Ardent Racing, Windsor Construction, car number 97, that's the big wheel, Scotty Thiel. Brandon Maddox rounding out the field on the inside of the 5th and final starting spot. Brandon drives the Maddox Heating and Cooling, Newman Motorsports, Shelter Insurance, car number 28. BR Motorsports, when it comes to sprint car parts, they're the one place to shop. That's BR Motorsports with over 250,000 parts in stock and fast same-day shipping, along with most knowledgeable sales staff in the industry. Give them a call or look them up online at brmotorsports.com. To go, your fourth and final heat race of the season. Getting ready to go to the green flag here, brought to you by BR Motorsports. Corey Eliason and Justin Peck side by side, bringing the field around to the white line there in row number 1. Eliason brings them off. Green is out. Here we go. What a start. Eliason jumps out and gets to the early lead. Justin Peck right there in the 2nd spot now, nose to tail, the top 2 down the back straightaway.
Brenham Crouch was almost a hero there. Tried to go from the inside of the 3rd row to potentially 3rd at the start of 1 and 2, and then washed up the racetrack, and now he's in danger of falling out of the top 5. So able to hold on to that spot for now, but plenty of pressure behind him from Scotty Thiel and Ryan Timms in that race for the final transfer.
Yeah, Scotty Thiel on the move now in that car number 97 on the inside of the outside of the 4th row as he battles down the back straightaway. Ryan Timms to the outside of him. Timms goes way up the hill in turn number 4.
Timms going backwards, Thiel trying to march forward from the 8th starting position to now into the 6th spot. Back up front, it's all Corey Eliason. Got about a 10-car length advantage over Justin Peck, who runs in the 2nd spot. Justin Sanders is 3rd, and now we got one around in turn number 4. It's Ryan Timms, who pulls out onto the track right in front of the leaders. The yellow was already out.
Good thing Eliason was paying close attention there.
He was. Good job up here in the tower to get the yellow on quickly. So Timms running 7th, spins, keeps going, and he'll have to go to the back.
So we'll line him up here with a replay, and we'll go through your lineup in a moment here. We got a replay coming up as you take a look at Ryan Timms. Right there behind Scotty Thiel through the corner and just loses the handle on it all by himself. Green flag comes out as they work off of turn 4 past the cone. Corey Eliason brings the field back to the green.
See what Scotty Thiel can do. Race for the final transfer. He stuck it up on the high side, drove off the racetrack on the backstretch. He was fully alongside Crouch for that 5th spot. Small mistake, though, and Thiel falls back to the 6th spot.
Justin Sanders all over Justin Peck. Down the back straightaway. That's the battle for the transfer into the dash. Battle for 2nd in turn number 4. Peck has it in the 13 car. Sanders right behind him now to the inside, yellow.
Timms off the pace again, the high side of 3 and 4. And it may, something broke. That car is not rolling straight as he comes to a stop here at the exit of turn number 4. So track's starting to get in better racing shape here, widening out a little bit. Justin Sanders challenging Justin Peck for that 2nd spot and the spot in the Sander Engineering Dash. Justin's and Sanders all over the place out here. Then Scotty Thiel had a great run to the outside of Brenham Crouch for that 5th place spot, final transfer into the feature, and just kind of ran out of racetrack, dipped off of the backstretch before he was able to complete that pass. So the outside lane can work on the restarts if everybody else goes to the bottom. Here's a FloRacing, or there was a FloRacing replay for those of you watching at home.
Corey, sorry.
I was just going to say, Tim's rolling off the racetrack.
So Corey Eliason, Justin Peck, Justin Sanders, Ayrton Jenitin, and Brenham Crouch. Top 5 cars in transfer position. Keep your eye on Scotty Thiel. Was going to make a big move right up until the right rear went off the back of the track.
Just going to maybe try a different angle here just to make sure he gets it down the back straightaway, and we'll see if Crouch is able to defend it all. Back to green. Crouch's teammate Eliason on the hammer. He's led from the start. Peck goes to the high side and stays with Eliason. Sanders closes in on Peck in that race for second. Top three all right together off four.
Off of turn number 4, white flags out, final time, battle for the lead into turn number 1. Justin Peck taking a look, but Corey Eliason strong off the top of turn number 2. He'll bring him around 3 and 4. Checkered flag will wave. Off of turn number 4, Corey Eliason will get the win. Justin Peck comes home second. Justin Sanders into the third spot. Ayrton Jennington fourth, and Brendan Crouch able to fend off the charge from Scotty Thiel to get that fifth and final transfer spot.
Good night for Crouch Motorsports. Both cars in through the heat races.
So those 5 cars will transfer on. Scotty Thiel comes home 6th, Brandon Maddox 7th, Riley Goodnow 8th, and Ryan Timms 9th. And top 2 cars will go on to the Sander Engineering Dash. That's Corey Eliason and Justin Peck. And Justin Sanders is down front.
Well, it was a good battle here in that heat race for the opportunity to go race in the Sander Engineering Dash, but Justin Sanders, you're one spot out, but you are in the feature. Just how critical were some of those restarts? What'd you learn that maybe you can take with you into the feature since you're going to have to pass a few more cars?
Yeah, I really didn't need that last caution. I think, I was pacing him. Don't know if I would have passed him, but I think that was my best shot under that last green flag run because I kind of had him searching. He really didn't know where to be, and our car's pretty good. I think key to passing tonight is wherever the guy in front of you is not, you got to go the opposite, and you got to make your attacks really critical and thought out, because if a guy sees you in the preferred line or whatever, they're going to take your line away. So you got to execute real fast, and that's what we're going to have to do in this feature.
All right, that's Justin Sanders. We'll get the 39M back to the pit area. He was going for his 8th dash appearance this year. One spot short. We'll see him on in the feature tonight.
Attention to the grandstand, please. Nicholas Adams. Nicholas Adams, please return to the main gate. And a quick note, by the time we get to the B, will be the last call for 50-50. Those are for sale near the main gate. Nicholas Adams to the main gate.
We'll step aside on FloRacing. The dash draw is next on the program, so the top 2 finishers from each of these 4 heat races will assemble in the infield, and we'll figure out where they start in the Sander Engineering Dash.